Hey everyone, I wanted to create this tutorial to show you how you can collaborate using Eclipse IDE and GitHub. So what I'll do, this is my GitHub account. So this is one of my GitHub accounts. I will be creating an Eclipse project and uploading it to my GitHub. So what I can do, I can actually create a new repository right here in GitHub, but I'll prefer to do that in GitHub Desktop. So let me open up my GitHub Desktop and go to File and create a new repository. So I will create a new repository over here. So I will name my repository object oriented math. So OOP math classes. So what I'll do now, I will provide a local path. Okay. So this is where the project will be saved locally. And actually, this is for the person who is creating the project. So this is for the person who creates the project first and pushes it to GitHub. Because when they create this project, the other members will now clone this project from GitHub and open it on their Eclipse. So this is for the person that is creating the project. So you can see I have a folder that I've created on my desktop called GitHub project. So I will create my object-oriented math project right over here and select folder. So it's desktop GitHub project. So I can initialize with a README and I can choose a ignore that will tell GitHub the files to ignore. So these normally specify a language and I will say maybe Java. I use Java. There goes Java and the license I can maybe choose MIT license. So I will now create this repository. So the repository has been created and if I open my file and go to desktop and go to GitHub projects, you can see it has been created here and you can actually see the .git folder. This is the same folder that is created when you say git init to any directory. So it's actually a hidden folder. So if you can't see it, it's because you haven't enabled the hidden files. So to enable them, you can go on here the view tab and click checkmark checkbox on the hidden items. It will show, as you can see, if it's unchecked you can see the git folder, because git doesn't want you to mess up with that folder because it's for the version control and git stuff. So as you can see, it has been created there. So what I'll now do, let me go back to GitHub Desktop and since it's locally, it's not present on my GitHub, I can now push this repository to my GitHub. So I will go back to GitHub Desktop and you can see publish repo. So github.com, the name is object oriented math, the OOP math classes, and I can keep it as private. So I will publish my repo. So yeah, it's publishing. And yeah, it has been published. So when I go to my GitHub repository and just reload, you should see OOP math right here, object oriented math. So yeah, it has been uploaded to my GitHub. So now what I will do next is to this directory is now where I will open my Eclipse project. Okay, so I will go to Eclipse and then create a new Java project. So new Java project. So I can call it as object object oriented math. I'll just come. Okay, so here is where you need to be careful. So here is where you need to do accurately. So you don't use the default location, because this will create in your default workspace. So you will specify this location that you have initialized this Git repository. So you will check use default location and choose where you have created. So for my case, it's desktop, and then GitHub projects, and then object oriented math. So just select on that directory and then click OK. So that will create this project on that directory. And now click on finish. So it will now create the files for that project, and as you can see, it actually has the license and the readme.markdown md. So when let me create a new main Java class. So new Java class. So I will call this class main class, and the default, you can see the use of default package is discouraged. You can actually use it, but let me create a package called math. So this is what specifies up there that package math. So I will create a main method, and this will be the main class. So the package, as you can see here, package math. So that's the main class, and let me just print out system.out.println hello world. Let me just write hello world. Let's get rid of that error, and let's just say hello world of GitHub. Hello world of GitHub. So let's go, and let me save that and run it. So hello world of GitHub, as you can see, the output is here. So on Eclipse, you can actually be updating everything. When I open the README, you can be updating the README over here, and publishing it, committing and pushing it to the main repo. For now, I have created this main class. So if I go back to my GitHub desktop, you'll see that there have been some changes that can now be committed to the remote repository. So if I take on the remote repository, there is literally nothing. This is because we haven't, so you can see there is, it's just the Git attributes, the Git ignore, the license, the license. These are the default packages, that the default files that GitHub creates when you specify, when you are creating a Git project. So like the Git attributes and the Git ignore were created when I specified the Git ignore to be Java language. So it will create those, and the license and the readme, because I specified the MIT license and I specified to open with the readme markdown file. So we'll go back to Eclipse. You see I have added this line of code, hello world. So if I go back to GitHub desktop, you can see there are these changes. You can see this is an entire class that has been changed. So here is now where you provide the summary. The summary, we can say that added main class. So you can add a description if you want, but it's optional. What is mandatory is this. It's like a commit message. So description. So added the first main Java class to output hello world of GitHub, and then we can commit to main. So this now prepares the files to be pushed. So I can now push the origin now. So it's pushing to origin, and also when it pushes, it normally updates the project still. So you can see it was fetched just now. So the files have now been pushed to the remote repository on GitHub. So if I refresh, I will be able to see that main class. So as you can see, there's the SRC and the math. Yeah, this is the main class. So for now, the person who is creating the project, that's basically enough. They have created an Eclipse project and pushed it to GitHub. So now, when they share this project with anyone with Eclipse can now be able to open this project. Okay. So now let's invite people to this repository. So I'll go to settings of the repo and then collaborators, and then now let me add people. So I will add my other GitHub account, which is called Mwenda Eric. So this is called Eric Mwenda. So I will add Mwenda Eric. So as you can see, it's actually the first one here, Mwenda-Eric. So when I add this repo, he has been sent an email. So when I go to my mailbox, I will get that email that is inviting me to this repo. So I will have to log into my iCloud. Okay. Uh, so let me just sign in with my Apple ID, eric.mwenda@icloud.com, and keep me signed into this device. Let me put password, and yeah. Yeah, as you can see, I have received an email from my other account. So view invitation, it will expire in 7 days. So by 7 days, I will have to accept the invitation. And so in order to access the invitation, I will have to actually log into my GitHub using my other account. So repository invitation work for invited users only. So I will have to sign out here and log in using now that account that I have invited myself with. So let me just sign in with my Mwenda Eric account. So Mwenda Eric. And my password is my password and sign in. Mwenda Eric. So that's my password. Yeah. So let me just view. So my GitHub now is logged in using that. So let me go back to iCloud and view my invitation again. So now I can be able to accept the invitation. So this is now for the guys. So now after I accept the invitation, I can actually fork this project to appear on my repositories, because when I go to my repositories, I can't find it there. But if wait, which account is this? It's actually there. So because I have accepted the invite. No, but that is not the one. Okay, this was another repo. So this was another one that I had tested just a few moments ago. So I am now a contributor to this project. So I can fork it to be my own. Okay, so I can't fork it because I already have another one. I already have another one, so I can actually delete this. Let me just delete it so that it doesn't confuse you. So that it doesn't confuse you. So let me just delete this repository. I want, yeah. So Mwenda, I have to type this. Mwenda Eric, actually printed math. So delete this repo. Yeah, so it has been successfully deleted. Okay, so this is now the one that I have received an invite from. So I can fork it, but after receiving the invite, I can now push access to the repo. So I can now push to this repository. So what I'll do now is I'll clone this project. I'll copy the URL. I'll copy, then now clone it using GitHub Desktop. So I will now clone it. So file, clone repository. Clone repository from not github.com, not enterprise, but from URL. Now pasting the link that I have copied. So this folder contains file. For now, this is because of this path that I have down here. It points to the old project that I had created using the other account. So we'll choose a new path on my desktop. As you can see, I have a empty folder now named cloned project. So this will now host the cloned project. So I will clone it there, and as you can see, the error is gone. So let me just clone. It will clone for just a few seconds, and it's done, actually done, and it has cloned. So if we go now to the the desktop and clone projects, you can see there's the object oriented math that has been cloned here, and it has all the files, and it has the main Java class file. Yeah, so when I open Eclipse, this was this was the initial project that was created by the person who was to first share the project on GitHub. So what I can do is I can close this project. I can actually even close Eclipse. No, let me not even close. Let me just open the other project now that is from the desktop. So let me open now the cloned project to show you that I can add files. So open project from file system. So to open a project, so go open projects from file system. So import source. So this will specify a directory, and you go to desktop and then clone project. So clone project. So here it is, object oriented math, and click OK. As you can see, I can now open it. So now this is now the clone project from the desktop. Object oriented math, Java SRC. So this is the cloned project now. Okay. So I am now working on the cloned project. So if you want to see that I am working on it, I can now add a new file, Java class file, like for addition. So I can add an addition class. Addition, then it will contain the addition method that will return the total of the two numbers. So public int get sum, and it will have int first number and int second number. And yeah, so it will return first number um, plus second number. And yeah, I will just save that. And when I go to my GitHub, you will see that I need to add this file. And if you can look closely here, on the addition class, there's a question mark. So this means that this file hasn't been added to GitHub. So if I go back to GitHub Desktop, uh, you can see there is no change. You know why? It's because I am working on the initial repository. So if I want to go onto the updated repository using the other account. So I can actually log in now using the other account. So this is because I am using two different accounts on the same device, but for you, you won't have any problems because you'll just be using your own account. Uh, and the person that created the project is definitely created has created on their own computer, so it won't have these issues of switching account and stuff. So as I have switched the account to my other account, I will now select the project. So you can see here there is now the class addition here in the main class. I had deleted that line. So I can now commit these changes over here. So I can say added addition class. In the description I can say uh, added add method that returns the sum of two uh, two parameter numbers. So you don't have to provide the description, but this is what we said that you have to provide the commit message, and we can now commit to main. And yeah, so I have committed, and as you can see, these are the commits. This is because I haven't pushed that commit to the main repository, but now I can now push to the origin. The current branch is the main branch. So if I go now to my GitHub account, um, my GitHub account, okay, so I can actually let me to see it on my GitHub. I can just now I can fork, so you can fork the repo to your own repository. So yeah, so you can see it's forked from here, and the branch is up to date. So if I open it, you will see it has the addition class that I have just created. So basically that's just it. And let me go to my repositories. So here are my repositories. So you can see object-oriented math, and it has been forked from Eric, the creator. So I have forked it from the creator, and I can add my classes on Eclipse. And if I wanted to add another class, as you can see, the addition now doesn't have the question mark, so I can add another class called subtraction. Subtraction, and it will do the same thing basically. So uh, probably int get subtract, and it will have the int first number and an int second number, and return second number minus first number. So basically that's it. And after I add this, you will see when I go back to my GitHub, there is the subtraction class, and now I can add the commit added subtraction class, and I can commit and then push to the origin. So everyone will now receive these changes. So I want to show you that even on the Eric account. So as you can see, the question mark should be like gone even for the subtraction class. But yeah, I as you can see, added subtraction class. So the subtraction class has been added. So if I go to the GitHub repo, this is now my account. So you should see the subtraction class. Oh, wait, one commit behind, so you can synchronize and update the branch. Okay, so you can see there is the subtraction. Okay, this is because it had been committed to the master. The master is who created the repo, so forked from Eric. So I wanted to show you that if I go to Eric, you'll see that there is also the subtraction class. So that's basically it. So this is how you can easily collaborate using Eclipse and GitHub to work on the same projects as together. I mean, yeah. So that's basically it, and yeah, that's about it. In case of anything, yeah, I can be contacted at any moment. So that's about it, and thank you, and yeah.